You know, I believe in being positive and having a positive attitude and taking a positive approach to life. And I think that an overall positive attitude is a good thing. But you know what? I was just thinking about something because of something yesterday. I was with someone who I was watching this person doing what I used to do all the time, and that is trying real hard to please everybody, to try to make everybody happy. You know, I'm watching this guy do this, and I'm just looking and I'm thinking he's trying to make his wife happy, trying to make his kid happy. Always doing things, trying to make the family happy, always trying to make, all the siblings happy and everything else. And he's making himself miserable. Nothing but misery. Because a lot of these people are just never satisfied. You know, it's something I learned from real experience in dealing with people, being really nice to people. If you're a very charitable person and you're dealing with people, you're giving things to people, you would think that people would say, oh, wow, thank you. That's really wonderful that you did. You don't always get that. I mean, you get it sometime, but not all the time. See, my thing is, I feel, and this is the way I honestly feel, if you're going to do nice things, if you're going to really be helpful, be helpful. Be helpful because that's what's in your heart to do. Really. And I really say that, honestly. Because if you do it really to make other people happy, if you set that as your goal, you're going to be miserable. You are going to, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. There's some things in the world you can't guarantee. That's one thing you can guarantee. You will be miserable if you set the goal that I'm going to do this to make everybody else around me happy. Because people make up their mind whether they're going to be happy or not. There are people who, if you gave them $1,000,000, they're not going to be happy. They're going to find something wrong with it. I actually know people who, if you gave them $1,000,000, they would say, well, you gave me $1,000,000. Why didn't you give me $2,000,000? Some people, if you gave them $2,000,000, well, why didn't you give me $3,000,000? If you help them out, you could cure them of blindness, and they'll say, well, why didn't you help me to walk as well? What's wrong with that? Hey, what's up? There are people who make up their mind that they're never going to be satisfied. At first I said there are people who are going to make up their mind are going to be miserable, but it's not just misery. It's that they're never going to be satisfied, no matter what you do. And when you think of happiness, you think of happy people as being people who are satisfied. People who look at what they have and look at it as a blessing and say, wow, this is a great thing. This is a wonderful life that I have. I'm happy to have what I have. When you start giving things to people, when they don't really have to earn it, when you become overly charitable and overly kind, it starts to become negative. And I know that from experience. That there are people who have never learned how to be satisfied with the things that they have in life and to realize that you are lucky to have the good things that you do have. That doesn't mean you stop and you don't try to improve life, but you stop and think every so often and say, you know what? I'm really living, and I'm going to use this word. I know that there are a lot of people who are, this is not religious, but I use these words. I'm going to use this word. It's a religious sounding word, okay? So all of you people who have a religious argument, fine. But you have to realize that in life you are blessed, okay? That there is a kind of blessing that you have in life. When you have friends, when you have the things that you have, I know that my health, for example, isn't perfect, but I'm I'm actually lucky to have the degree of health that I do have. And I consider that a blessing. But and if you're an atheist and you don't want to use the word blessing, this is not a religious argument. I'm just because I know some people are sensitive about those words. You can use any other word, substitute any other word that works. But the main thing is appreciation. Appreciate what you have. That's the main thing. The main message I have. Appreciate what you have. Look at life and realize every so often, maybe not all the time, but stop for one moment and think that when someone, for example, makes a pot of coffee like I do at work, and I don't charge anybody because other people have coffee clubs and they charge money for things. Instead of sort of looking at that and say, oh, you got this coffee. I don't like that coffee. Well, then you don't have to drink it. But if you do drink it and you're complaining about it, stop for one moment. That's one thing. And stop and think, you know what? No one had to actually provide me with this coffee. This is a gift that a person gave me. This is something someone's giving me, and they're not asking for anything. Just stop and think about that for a moment. You're not asking for anything else. And I know that people aren't going to do that, but I realize that in life, I can't make other people do things, but I can do that. I can stop and think every so often and say, you know what? I may complain about the level of help that people give me. But they didn't have to do anything. They didn't really have to help me at all. They could have just not done anything. I may complain about friends who don't write to me or call or anything else or ask how I'm doing, but I'm lucky to have friends. There's some people who have no friends at all. I do have friends, and I have people who really care about me. I like to use the word blessed. That's my preference, and that's all I've got to say about that. I don't want to get into some, because I always hear people get into this thing about, oh, I don't like that word, because I do have friends who of a different way of thinking, But here's the thing: sometimes in life, you just have to realize that you are in a situation where you really are lucky. Even when things seem all screwed up. Just think about that. That's all.